Hello, everybody. It is Makuta Cryos here once again, and this time I am showing my version of Makuta antroz, what I call the apocalypse version. Now, before I get into the story I've made for this guy, I'm just gonna get the elephant out of the room and answer why half his face has been burned off, and that's because when I was younger, I thought it would be cool for him to have like this big like battle scar on his face, and I may or may not have gotten this idea from Dark of the Moon Megatron. Just yeah, but but yeah, so I decided I'm gonna try and do that, and here's the result. And I basically started crafting a story around why he looks like that, and I thought it was good enough that I figured I'd run with it and start a fan fiction, and that's kind of what I'm gonna be discussing today. And so the story, what the heck? Oh, that's in the way. There we go. And we're gonna make him look a little bit. I'm gonna adjust stuff to make him look prettier. Look, you can look pretty. All right. So essentially, what happened was this is a alternate timeline where the fight between Matanui and Makuta Pterodax ended with Matanui actually winning, but at a great cost. And essentially, towards the end, there was a massive explosion. And oh yeah, that reminds me. In this one, Makuta Pterodax did not, in fact, manage to destroy the rest of the Makuta. And uh, one way or he essentially destroyed decoys of them because one of them I haven't decided who yet, but one of them has essentially was able to generate decoys or illusions of them, and those are what Pterodax was able to destroy. But yes, essentially, Antaraz here managed to escape the Metronui body, and with several others, he actually was kind of at point. He was kind of at ground zero for the explosion, and was peeking out from a large crevice in the ground when that massive blast essentially he got some of that to the face, and it also completely destroyed his left arm and wing, which is where, and the only part that really survived was his claw. And what you're seeing now is the prosthetic that he essentially had to build for himself. But yes, this explosion actually wiped out um, a lot of individuals on the planet. Pretty much all of the Glatorian and whatever other ones were essentially rendered extinct. And yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna name this. Oh, damn it! There we go. I'm gonna name this series "Bionicle Extinction" because essentially, essentially a lot of them were put into essentially hypersleep, and he is one of the first to awake. And he realizes that he is missing his left arm and essentially has to go and get a prosthetic built. And on the very end of it is his original claw, the only surviving piece from the Great Blast. But yeah, But yeah, um, you can see how I was able to build it, and I added some those Lego pieces to essentially look kind of like resemble something of like bolts, and I wanted his hand to look a bit cooler. So I added some fingers, and I essentially gave him the hand design of Dinobot from Dinobot 2.0 from Beast Wars. And basically, he would, in theory, he'd find some parts, and among those would be one of these things, and also a wing, in order to replace his now damaged one. And essentially, he's essentially just like roaming around, getting a good feel of the land and seeing what other survivors there might be out there. But yeah. Also, I gave him those things that Makuta Pterodax had, because I'm trying to have that be a kind of a, because I really loved it. Fuck. Fuck. Technical difficulties. Anyhow, but yeah, I liked the look that Pterodax had. Actually, when I was a kid, I didn't know that there was more than one Makuta. I thought Makuta was just the name of that one character. I also didn't know that there was more than one. Like, I always thought there was only one team of Toa around at each time. So as a kid, I remember I kind of had this rule where I couldn't build another Toa of like whatever. I could not have another Toa team around until the next ones had become Taraga, and I kind of thought that that was how that worked, because I never read the comics or the books. I just had the movies and the Bionicle Heroes video game. But I was quite happy to learn that I always had him as Pterodax, because I'm like, he looks cool. He looks like he could be the Makuta. Turns out I was kind of right. He wasn't Pterodax, but he was a Makuta. But yeah, that is my design for Makuta antroz, at least this design. I'm hoping to get another mask to so I can have a just antroz that essentially has been healed. And I'm hoping if I can get enough parts, I can build him a cool set of like wings that like I have for Icarax over there. But yes, this has been my video for my version of Makuta antroz. Hope you guys enjoy.